Hey guys, William Padilla Brown here doing a quick garden update, and right now we're looking at this Black Diamond heirloom watermelon. This is going to be the ground cover for this area here where we have our jalapenos. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jalapenos that successfully made it through their first couple weeks of trials and tribulations. Behind that we have our Dancing with the Smurfs blue tomato. So you can see the tomatoes are coming in and they're just a little bit purplish right now, but they're supposed to get nice and dark and look kind of blue. Right over here we have our tomatillos. These are the little green tomatoes. So we have one here. They little green tomatoes, they're in this little husk, and we're going to use these for green salsa. So we're going to use these as well as the jalapenos to make some really nice salsa. Over here we have some bell peppers, and they're doing great. We have this field garlic. I've been eating most of it. I love when it goes to seed like this and gets all nice and purple. It's a beautiful garlic flavor, not too intense. It doesn't linger on your breath really hard or anything like that. Let's see if I can get a nice close-up for you guys. Get it to focus. Yeah. So yeah, the field garlic, I love to eat that throughout the year. So yeah, we have our bell peppers here. These are the ones that got destroyed by the slugs earlier in the year, but they came back and they're doing well. And another bell pepper. We have our Russian kale growing around the curly kale. Growing around the curly kale from last year. So the Russian kale is doing good. We have some lactinato kale that's growing underneath here, and the lactinato kale that I put in originally got destroyed by slugs, but it's coming back now. All this curly kale is going to seed. The seed pods are almost ready. Some of them are ready, and I took them off. So yeah, the lactinato kale, and then behind that we have some black bush beans. I'm using the fixed nitrogen in there to help the kale grow a little bit better. And yeah, there's more of this Russian kale. It's doing great. We have some turmeric over there with a pumpkin growing right next to that, and a little sage plant right over there. The purple asparagus patch has been doing great, just storing up lots of energy, and we're probably going to get some amazing harvest off that one and off this green asparagus patch next in this following year. And we did eat off of it this spring. We have some muskmelon, our cantaloupe. It's sprawling out in there's 3 plants there. They're sprawling out in 3 different directions. It's going to be ground cover. I'm going to train it through that kale there, over this way through the asparagus patch and down over along this area here to keep it shaded, allow these wood chips to decompose and hold a little bit more water. We have 2 more bell peppers here, another turmeric. I'm going to have to weed out some of those tomatoes that are growing in there, so that it doesn't take up too much of its nutrients. And then we have some more volunteer tomatoes coming in there through that biochar. Those are probably Roma tomatoes from last year. Oh, and we have this little majorum here, so that's going to sprawl out and grow up a little bit. Stay on this patch. So these are the green. This is the green asparagus, and it's photosynthesizing, storing its energy. Shading out our aronia a little bit. Put this aronia over here. And the aronia is going to produce a berry similar to a blueberry. Down here we have our tobacco. This is our sacred tobacco we're going to use for ceremony and rituals and things like that. So hopefully it grows up a little bit bigger. This was started very late. The strawberries that we transplanted are dying back a little bit, but they are putting out some new growth. So I'm just more hoping that they'll return for next year and just fill out that area a little bit more. We have another pumpkin. We had a lot of pumpkin seeds in our compost, so we have a fair amount of pumpkins that are just coming out. We have a basil here, and a few other plants that the seeds just pretty much came out of this compost that we threw here. So we have some Chenopodium, the Chenopodium album, the lamb's quarters. I'm pretty sure it's Chenopodium album, the Latin name. We have an orange tomato that I rescued that I'm hoping comes up, and then some more black bush beans and pumpkins. Over here we have some romaine lettuce that we've been harvesting off of. I like to harvest my romaine lettuce as it goes and just let it keep growing up. So we've been eating a fair amount of salad and some more black bush beans and a cucumber. This is a Market More cucumber here. We had 2 cucumbers and one of them got completely destroyed by slugs. So I hope this produces fruit. I'm not sure if it needs to produce fruit. So there's another turmeric over there behind this asparagus. And oh yeah, that's the one I showed you from the other side that I said we had to weed out the tomatoes. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this patch here. And we were harvesting garden giant Stropharia mushrooms out of this patch earlier in the year, and we did harvest a few out of this patch, so there are some here. So I'm sure we'll get a nice yield in the fall as well. So we have some Jerusalem artichokes, sunchokes. They moved from over there. They were like all over there last year, and they moved all over around in this area. And I'm sure I compressed some of them down by putting that this mulch here, just some weeds and scraps that we pulled out on the side of our house, some vining plants that were trying to crawl up our house. There's a little pepper in there, part of those plants that I rescued. More pumpkins. We have our dwarf blueberry, putting on some blueberries. We definitely want some more blueberries. We want to line this whole row with blueberries. Yeah, so another pumpkin, ginger, some Jerusalem artichokes, some comfrey. We use this for composting mostly. Gets its roots down there deep, and we make some really nice compost tea with that material, and spray it and water our plants with it. Another muskmelon sprawling out in all directions there. Going to be some nice ground cover. Another pumpkin, and there's a turmeric there. I think this is a ginger. I have another ginger coming up here. Pull out this tomato, and probably let one of these tomatoes go. And another pumpkin, another ginger, and another small ginger there, and then some turmeric here, and another pumpkin. Another one of our the heirloom black diamond watermelons. The smaller corn that you see is a 75-day frosty white corn from Botanical Interests. We have some sugar snap peas. They're super small. We started indoors this year. Didn't give them a trellis or anything. Just wanted to see what will happen. This is the Bloody Butcher heirloom red corn from Botanical Interests. Our mushroom logs are doing alright over here. One of them fell over during a storm, but you could see that the shiitake spawn colonized this nice, all in this white area. And we did plug them up with sawdust spawn. So yeah, all the taller corn that you see is the Bloody Butcher, which is a longer. It's like 100 and something, 115 day or something. But I got that in earlier in the spring. But the squirrels came in and messed up our rows. So all of the younger corn is that frosty white corn. Like I was telling you, we're using a sangria watermelon to utilize that as the ground cover to maintain the moisture on the ground around the corn. The fuzzy vines will deter pests. And we have I forget what kind of bean. It's a bean from Botanical Interest, the pole bean from Botanical Interest. It's a white pole bean, and we have some Kentucky Wonder pole beans that are going to be growing up our corn stalks. We have 2 green beans that aren't doing very well. They're a little bit yellow. I definitely need to hit up this pile with some more compost tea and amendments. Last year I did way better because I added way more compost in the mix of wood chips. This year I got a huge truckload of wood, or last fall I got a huge truckload of wood chips dropped off, and they didn't get enough time to decompose. So some of the plants are having a little bit of issues getting their roots down to where the finished compost and soil is. So we have some more peppers, more bell peppers, and these are from the group that I rescued, and they're starting to come back a little bit. Some of the collard greens that got completely destroyed, they're super little right now. But they're going to come back, and I didn't feel like taking them out and putting anything else in. Little asparagus shot up. Wasn't expecting that. I'm trying to continue amending on our goji berries here. We have 2 goji berries here and then another goji here. So I'm going to continue amending on those to try and get them looking a little bit better. They're a little bit nitrogen deficient. They probably need a little bit of calcium too. I can't really see what I'm looking at. It's very bright out here. But yeah, the leaves are yellow, which is showing me that they need some nitrogen. But other than that, they are putting on some berries. So these little green fruits, these little green little pods that you see on this plant are the goji berries maturing. So yeah, back over here behind this is the sea buckthorn. It's doing good. They're growing nice, and looks like I have a vine trying to grow up this sea buckthorn here. Get that out of there. And then the other sea buckthorn's doing well, and I want to get another sea buckthorn in here. So yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, share on Facebook and Twitter, any of your favorite permaculture blogs, gardening blogs, anything like that. The chicken's been hanging out in their little chicken tractor, doing their thing. They're getting nice and mature, and we're going to get their coop in soon. I don't know if we're going to be doing the earth coop like I thought, because my friend's having a baby here in the next couple of days, so he's not going to be as available. Yeah, if you like this video, just like I said, hit the thumbs up and share it all around. Other than that, it's been William Padilla Brown. I hope everybody can take the opportunity to get outside and put a plant in the ground today.